Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Race to the Record Bitepoint Racing Sportscar Challenge. We're to round number 9. We are officially at the leg end of our season here. One more round to go after a 1-week break. That will be heading into our 1.5 hour Nürburgring combined here at Bitepoint Racing, but we still get to experience it for the penultimate round at Road Atlanta. My name is Tristan Herbst, joined in the commentary box and the production box by Jim Cunningham. And we've got quite a great race going on here today. Road Atlanta, a common one that we've seen on this channel a bit before in the previous months. And we get to see it here again for some multi-class action. Jim, how are you feeling for today's race? I think we've got quite a lot to play for you with the multi-class.
Yeah, no, I'm great. I'm good to be here with you, by the way. I mean, it's Road Atlanta, man. I mean, when it comes to, road racing in the United States, especially endurance racing, even though this is, just an hour long, it's still endurance cars. This is, I would say this is one of the crown jewels, one of the three, I mean, you get Daytona, Sebring, and Petit Le Mans here at Road Atlanta. That's the three major long endurance races in the United States, This track is great. It's short, it's fast. But it's does pretty good job hosting multi-class. It's always a great event, and Petit Le Mans is just an absolutely fantastic event that closes out the season on the American endurance schedule.
Yeah, indeed, very much built for the type of racing we get to see here today. The GT3 LMP2 action, very similar to what you get to experience at the Petit Le Mans. That happens here at Road Atlanta. But so we're heading into round number 9. I think we've got quite a lot to play for. We'll go through our championship standings as it currently looks for our 3 classes racing here today. LMP2 class, it is Alan Aguilar up in front, and he's completely taken it away from Mauro Santamaria, who dropped off multiple rounds back down to 9th position. David Turnbull now sits 2nd position. Scott Mowry will be sitting 3rd with 266 points. And Blake Ward sits 4th, 241. Justin Bock, our winner last week at the previous round, gets himself a 5th position so far on the leaderboard, 239 points. And he's got a chance to get up ahead of Blake Ward if he can get some better results in for today. Justin a great little bit further behind in 6th. And Harrison Holiday, also quite a pace setter last time around, 207 points to his name at Suzuka. Nicholas Acres, 204 points in 8th position with Mauro Santamaria in the 9th position, and Jacob Sheridan sitting in the 10th now for quite a couple of previous rounds. We then move over to our Pro GT3s, and it is Francis Crosby and Zach Houston, the 2 rivals that we've been talking about this entire season, are now 1 point separated. So this is going to be quite an interesting round. Yeah, and Anderson as well. All 3 of them heading into a bit of a header. So about 3 points that totally separate the 3 of them. And then John Voigt just a bit further behind, 239 points. Paul Basson sits 5th with Austin Schuldhauer in that BMW down in 682 points. Matthew Miles gets a 20-point drop after switching to the Porsche 992, switching from the Mercedes GT. And so, unfortunately, he ruins his chances here of fighting for the championship. Jordan Butler will be a bit further down in 8th with 84 points. Arjan Singh, 79th, and Patrick Rich, our final top 10 driver, in with 56 points to his name. The Pro-Am class with David Volp up in the front, 265 points. John Bostwick just a bit further behind him in 2nd currently, with Zach Shepard lining up just behind them, 228 points. Jason Holland, 224. Then we have Blake Pietenpol, 214 points. Jordan Cox, 207. We then have Lorenzo Araujo, and in that 202-point slot, 7th position, Timothy Schaefer, 187 points in 8th position. Jeremiah Cohn, 9th with 178, and Tyler Crow, 10th with 128 points to his name. So that's what our championship standings are looking like as we head into round number 9. And our qualifying session is officially done and dusted. Apologies that we missed it there. It ran slightly longer over the countdown, but we fortunately still get to see all of the racing action coming to you. Before we head to that, though, it's also a great thing to mention all the amazing sponsors that are here today at Bitepoint Racing. Digital Racing Engineer, which we had quite a bit of a chat about last week at Suzuka. Full Throttle Nation is also here, and you'll see all our amazing sponsors cycling in the top right-hand side, and the banner on the bottom of your screen. Sim20 for 20% off your order with Roasted Records. And Roasted Records really been a prominent figure over the sim racing world with their sponsorships and being more involved. So great to see them here at Bitepoint. And I think we are almost about ready to head over to that race session where we might see the LMP2s really showing their flames up in front.
Yeah, I think, this is a great track for those LMP2s. And interesting story. Harrison Holiday last week was, I believe, the pole sitter. If not, he was on the front row, I think.
Yep.
Kind of surprised us with that speed. Don't you know, Wednesday night, he won the LMP2, the GT3 Pro-Am class in the Full Throttle Nation race on Wednesday night. So he's kind of feeling himself right now. He's found his speed. He seems to be getting more and more comfortable. And I told him I expected to see him up front this week here, and he's like, that's a lot of pressure. He's the most laid back dude you ever met.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, let's take a look at this track while we got a minute here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go through that track map. If you've been watching us here quite a bit here at Motormouth Broadcasting, probably not the first time that you've seen this track map, probably the second or third, depending on how long you've been here. But we head down into Georgia here in the United States of America. Road Atlanta, the Petit Le Mans track. Again, quite a bit of a long latitude track, similar to what we saw at Suzuka. And again, quite a technical track with quite a bit of gradient that gets to play for. We head into the lowest part of the track towards turn 3 and turn 5. Turn 3 being the highest, turn 5 just at the exit being one of the lowest. But we head down into turn number 1, up towards the right-hander, going up the hill as you climb up. And this is where it becomes quite blind through turn 2 and 3. You have to know the track in this situation of where you need to brake, where you need to rotate that car. And from here, it's all downhill through the Esses as you get to the lowest point of the track, heading back up to pretty much a plateau at turn number 5. You then head onto that back straight. You've got to watch out for that curbing on the right-hand side, not to overshoot it. And that straight heading quite short into a bit of our U-shaped hairpin with turn 6 and turn 7 being those two vertex points. Turn 6 going on to turn 7, back onto the uphill as it rises up towards our actual back straight. Great overtaking opportunities that present themselves here at Road Atlanta. Between LMP2s and GT3s, it also gives the LMP2s a bit of a leeway to get some overtakes done if they've got to get ahead of some GT3 cars. And then that heads into quite a hard braking zone of turn 10 and turn 11. Turn 10B, 10A, and then turn 11 coming out of it. Very, very complex little chicane if you do not carry it correctly. It then heads back into the uphill, downhill right again, blind, and into turn 12, your final corner here at Road Atlanta, across the checkered flag line. So that's your lap at Road Atlanta. A little bit of gradient you had to play with, and a nice complex circuit in certain sectors, but otherwise a couple of good straights for our cars to contest.
Yeah, what an amazing track. So much fun to drive, too. There's a lot of great tracks in the world, but, some of them are just tough. This place it literally is just a blast to drive. It really is. The uphill, downhill, the blind turn 3 can be a brutal place. Running into turn 5 right there where Justin Bach just came through can be really tough if you get a little wide and get on the curbing. Just a fantastic circuit, man. It's so fun. It really is. I can't wait for this. This could be a good race tonight too, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to rectify something I mentioned earlier on just before we get started. Apologies about that final round. We are on the penultimate round here at Road Atlanta, but it is not as we see 2 of our GT3s following in pattern there on the exit of turn 5, but it is not the Nürburgring combined. Apologies, I'm getting my leagues mixed up. It is, yeah, it's April the 3rd. It is going to be the Sebring circuit again, another great American track for some LMP2 and GT3 racing.
You said that, and it never even clicked for me because of the other league.
You probably also thought the same. Yeah,
it didn't. Yeah, I knew it was Sebring after a week off because they're taking off next week, obviously, to run the 12 hours of Sebring. A lot of these guys will do that race, and so we have an off week, and then we're going to come back and close the season out at Sebring. And it didn't even dawn on me when you said that, because the other league's going to the Nürburgring, and I was actually just working on getting the track mount built for the Nürburgring today, so that was fresh in my head as well. So, yeah, I didn't even catch that. Good job, though. Did somebody correct you?
Yeah, apologies. No. I just realized I corrected myself. I had a look again at the calendar, and I was like, oh, I don't see the green block for Nürburgring. So I've clearly made an error here. And it was also confusing because this is a league where we've had 2 1.5-hour races of Virginia International and then Road America. So yeah, just a bit of a confusion all around, but we're all back. We've settled the accounts, and we know where we're heading. So it is the final round in 2 weeks' time at Sebring. So we head to the penultimate here at Road Atlanta, which
apparently
is...
Blake Pittenpool decided to jump into chat and say hello before the race starts.
I see that,
get ready to grid up here.
No, that's his lucky charm. If you come to the virtual grandstand and say hello to us, that's a lucky charm. It prevents any form of commentator's curse on you. It is, yeah.
I like that thought.
In my book, it is.
In my book.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Our starting grid has officially started up. It's Alan Aguilar up in front with Scott Murray in P number 2. Just behind them, P number 3 is going to be Justin Bach, our winner last week, with Harrison Holloway, our pole sitter last week, in P number 4. P number 5, row number 3, is going to be Roderick Mendoza. Good to see him here again. He wasn't here at Suzuka last week. Nicholas Acrest down in P6 in row number 3. P number 7 is going to be Owen Kizak again, not here last week, so great to see him joining us on the LMP2 grid. Zach Shepard will be your first car in the GT3s, leading off in P number 8 for the class. P number 9 is going to be Matt Miles, and Matt Miles has unfortunately been given no time. There we go. Matt Miles and Paul Basson, P9 and P10 on row number 5. The Porsches lock it out on row number 5. Then we have John Bostwick in 11th position with Zach Houston, our current rival for that Pro-Am standings, in P number 12. P number 13, though, is going to be Michael Anderson. And there's the other rival for the Pro-Ams. It's going to be Francis Crosby down in 14th position. So he's going to have to work a bit hard here to keep up with Zach Houston, Michael Anderson as well. They're all in a 3-way fight. And so it's going to be interesting to see where they plant each other in this race. P number 15, though, heading down is going to be John Voigt, our VR driver, one of the 2 VR drivers we've got here, I believe, from what we've seen on camera so far. And Tyler Crow down in P number 16. P number 17 then is going to be David Volp with Justin Welsh alongside David Volp, your current leads of the AMS. Apologies, Houston and Crosby in the pros, not the AMS.
We'll give you a pass
that's P number 17. Exactly. It's 1 hour earlier, all right. Blake Beatonpool, who just came and said hello in the chat, P19 for him, and then Zachary Kemp, P20. Good to see him as well, joining us for the penultimate round. Austin Schildauer in the BMW down in 21st position. Brandon Herzing will line up alongside him in P number 22. P23, though, and row number 12 already going on. Lorenzo Arujo with Jordan Cox just behind him in 24th position. After Jordan Cox, another Porsche lockout. It is going to be our final driver here on row 13. Jason Holland will be taking to the grid in his yellow McLaren. And this time around, I've managed to get through all of them before the starting line, which is great because it means we can actually breathe before the start. And we get to see the LMP2s breaking off slightly up ahead. They'll get a bit of a clearer run down to the line. The GT3s will have a bit of a spacer between them just so that they're not on top of each other coming into those braking zones.
Yeah, why is Harrison Holiday seems to be sitting in the pits right now? He must have a penalty.
That's not good news.
He must have a penalty. That's the only reason I would think.
Yeah, could possibly.
Oh, yep, there it is. Somebody just posted there. Harrison has a pit start tonight. So that's going to be a tough. I mean, that's a lot of GT3 cars you got to pass to get back up to the guys in your class. And this place is. It's somewhat traffic friendly, but I wouldn't exactly say that I'd want to pass, 20 GT3 cars if I didn't have to.
No, definitely not. I mean, a pit start penalty in multi-class is way worse than a grid penalty because, like you say, it forces you all the way behind the other classes, and so that's going to be quite a fight for Harrison Holiday. But the time is nigh here on the likes of Scott Murray and Alan Aguilar as they head off on that front row lockout. And Alan Aguilar has gotten the pull-off on the downhill, completely leaving Murray unsuspecting. And unfortunately for Murray, he's lost that already. Justin Bach winner from last week, seems to have his reflexes all tied in. He takes second position on the turn one lunge, and Alan Aguilar climbs up the hill with Justin Bach just a bit further behind him. Scott Mowry now trying to fight in third with Roderick Mendoza as they all come through the top chicane and through the Esses. Downhill they will come, and it looks like the LMP2 class has managed to keep the first couple of corners neatly clean, but Scott Mowry down at one position already. There we now shift over to our leading drivers of the GT3 Pros. It is indeed Paul Basson holding off second position. Apparently Owen Kizak is up in front in P1, but I don't think that's true. I think Paul Basson is leading the charge, and Zach Houston just a bit further behind him. After them, it is obviously a bit of a mix between a couple of other drivers. I believe that might be John Bostwick behind them. And so it's overall will eventually show prevalence on the left-hand side on your live timings tower, so we can see all of our drivers heading around track. There we now see Harrison Holiday in the background trying to make his way ahead of our GT3s here at the start. And there we see Franz Crosby and Michael Anderson, two also fighting for the win here. And so especially in the penultimate round, it is now or never for those two to try and catch up to Zach Houston and contest him for all the points possible. Nicholas Acresto on the backside now of Rodrigo Mendoza, and it's almost going three wide with Kemp also looking on the inside, but they all shift back into one neat line and pulling on towards the top side of the track.
Yeah, that would not have went well through there. 2 or 3 wide for sure. Not in these big old cars anyway. Let's see. Looks like Michael Anderson has went off track and has fallen all the way back to the very back of the LMP3, the GT3 field. Let's see here.
That is not good news for our current contester for the pros.
10A here. Yep. Right in between 10A and 10B.
Yeah.
Just looped it. Just carried too much speed through there.
Yeah. Just a bit too much, and that's enough to overcook the rears on that Acura, and to the backside he goes. Let's have a look at Kizak. It says that he's up in front in the GT3 Pros, but I could have sworn we saw Paul Basson, and so that makes sense. So Kizak on the left-hand side is showing up in the Pros, and he's actually in the LMP2. So we'll get that one squared away. It makes a lot more sense now as to why that was not aligning. So Kizak in that LMP2 class, he'll be on the backside.
He is
technically it's worked out somewhat.
Car, he is the next car to the GT3, so he's just not driving one. Yeah, we'll get
that is true. So, at least it's making somewhat sense, and he's not pacing the rest of the LMPs.
It must be or something.
It's usually the case when our drivers join in and they don't get assigned to the correct slots. It's most of the time due to the auto assign. And like you mentioned, it's when we have new drivers, and I haven't seen Owen Kizak before in the Bitepoint Racing yet, so might be his first round, a bit of a late one to join in at the penultimate round, but hey, he's joining in on the fun, and hopefully he can provide some contention in the top side of the LMP2 class.
Next season too, just get a little time
100%.
with these guys and see how it goes. This is
exactly
great league to be a part of. So I would love to get a couple of weeks of practice in if I could before the next season, especially in these LMP2 cars. They're not the easiest thing in the world to drive, especially if you're coming out of something with ABS.
No, 100%, especially if you're coming into this without a load cell brake pedal, and I've experienced that before in the LMP2s. It's a bit of a difficult beast to tackle. It's especially if you do not have a load cell pedal system and you're still running on a good old spring system. You will feel it with these cars without the ABS. So those brakes will lock up a lot if you cannot manage it correctly. But lovely to see a bit of fighting action in the background. Here comes our new Porsche out on the track, the Gremlins Full Force Racing Team, Matt Miles, who was at one point leading the GT3 Pro class earlier on in the season, but obviously dropped down. And from that drop down, realized that, he's not going to contest for P1. So may as well switch cars, take that 20-point reduction, and just have some fun at the back in the Porsche 992. So, absolutely. I was just about to say.
That matte black gray. I guess it's matte black, but yeah.
And I think the purple's metallic as well, because you can see how it's shining against the sun. It is. That is a
good paint job. I like it. Speaking of
great
paint
little
jobs,
fix there from Matt Mills.
Apparently, I'm not the only one who dislikes the Tennessee Volunteers. Apparently, our software doesn't like it, because when Jason Holland pulled up on the last car on the grid there, it showed him as a yellow McLaren. It didn't even didn't even show his Tennessee Volunteer colors. So I'm not the only one apparently. It's a college.
I'm seeing
college rivalry.
I'm seeing a white Mustang up in front as well, but that might be the actual livery of the car. I'm not 100% sure. There he is in the mid-pack, so I'm not too sure who that is. It's just behind Araja. I think it might be David Volpe. Yeah. No, it's a livery. It's a livery indeed. It looks like it's a drawn-on car. Yeah, exactly. That's actually quite a cool take on a livery. I can't lie.
I wonder if his kid did that or something. That is so cool.
And check the Sunstrip banner as well. It's got a drawing of Bitepoint Racing League and then GT3 Pram. That is very, very, very cool. I don't think we've seen one of those before.
No, that's awesome. I hope that's
and even the number's been drawn on. That is so cool. So very interesting choice of liveries there from David Volpe. What would be a lot cooler is if he's got a child or a family member that's of young age and they've drawn that for him. That makes it all the more special. But I mean, if it's a trading paint thing, I guess it still is what it is. Cool little livery to.
Maybe that's David's, coloring skills. Who knows? But I'm gonna guess that that's not the case. Look at this battle right.
I know it's not always the best to talk about some of the liveries we don't like, but. Oh man, I know it's a good livery for some, but that car of Arujo is just too much for me. I can't lie to you. it's too many colors on one car. If you have to ask me,
it is definitely busy. And you and I like
it's very
colorful
busy,
paint schemes. It's not that, it's the fact that it's just it's so muddled.
It's just too much.
Yeah, it's just so muddled because of all of the colors. But I mean, he's loud and proud Red Bull all the way there. You got to give him his credit, But I mean, to be fair, he's a couple of months into sim racing. He's probably a big Red Bull fan, and that's cool.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if that's what you do, You and I we have very similar taste in liveries. I've noticed since we do so much racing. So many broadcasts together, I think you and I gravitate to the similar type liveries, it doesn't surprise me that somebody's around.
Oh, massive! That's Anderson. Yeah, that's Anderson. He's just gone backside into the wall. Yeah, that's Michael. It's Anderson. Yeah, that was a huge hit into the concrete barrier. No Tech Pro barriers to save that car, and that's going to be massive damage. I don't think. I saw he's already turned back to pit, so he's going to have to wait for the repairs there. But my word, that was a hard hit into the concrete. That's a huge hit. Back suspension completely broken.
I get that happening there, but that's kind of a bit of a strange place to have that happen, really.
I haven't seen that before. I won't lie.
I mean, usually I think he lost it on the 3, everything's good till you get to 5, But man,
that is very weird. It's on the downhill gradient.
It's almost like something was already broken on the car or something.
That's what I was about to say. I think that previous incident he was in, I don't know if he maybe tapped something and maybe just unsettled the downforce on that car, because the GT3 is not supposed to move like that. If you got 3 wide, my word, 3 wide going down into turn number 1. And look at the change of events here. Roderick Mendoza is really giving Scott Mowry a run for his money, and Secrest is also trying to join in. Unfortunately, Bach and Aguilar have completely run away with this one for the time being, but it's great to see the 3 fighting, and it's a massive tap between the 2. Mowry has made contact on the backside of the likes of, I believe, Mendoza, and Secrest gets a bit of a bump as well. My word. Yeah, a little bit of bump and draft action there, and now Mendoza joins in the middle of Kizak's line.
That was our favorite Porsche livery there. Okay. Oh, he got kissed from behind.
Tapped as well.
Yeah, he did. So I wonder if that had... No, I guess not. I was thinking that might have had something to do with the the LMP2's wrecking, but it did not.
No, that LMP2 was all up to Scott Mowry. He pulled the nose out just too late on the backside of Mendoza and unfortunately cut it on the backside. We'll see the replay now. So Mowry just on the backside there of Roderick Mendoza, and just from the aerial view, great camera angle to view it, in fact, and we'll see it now that I think there was either a switchback from one of the 2 of them, but here comes the cut of the nose, so he tries to avoid right and just not enough time and clips the back right of Roderick Mendoza. Then Sir Crest thinks, oh, great, I've got a free run, and somehow runs into the side of Scott Mowry. And fortunately, he didn't land up in the barriers, so he takes both those positions.
At that moment, he was thinking, oh, this is great. I just got both of them. And he gets a little hip check from him as he goes by. But he still did get away, like you said.
It could have been a lot worse, though.
A lot worse, yeah.
Yeah,
like
it could have been right into the wall there for
Alan Aguilar have kind of checked out on these guys, especially after that little incident there. That certainly didn't help their cause any. But
Bach has checked out on. Well, it's great to see that they're still fighting, but Bach has checked out on Sir Crest, and then Aguilar has checked out on Bach as well. There's quite a bit of a distance between all of them right now, and it seems like Aguilar's running away for the time being. But let's hope Mowry can get onto the backside of Sir Crest. Unfortunately, Mendoza's lost out on that battle. 5 seconds of a gap. That's the amount of time it had to take him to recover. And wow, Scott Mowry is getting a bit of a run from his money there from a purple Porsche in the background, going side by side down the back straight almost. And now they compress quite a bit, so it's a bit of a sandwich here between the GT3s and the LMP2s. And like we've mentioned a couple of times, it is 100% the job as we see Sir Crest pulling in. Yeah, Sir Crest possibly with a bit of damage, I'm not sure.
Now, isn't that something? The guy who thought he was getting, well, we say that. The guy who thought he was going to get by clean, and he's the one that ends up having to go in and pit. But Mowry got a slowdown there as well, but he got rid of it. But yeah, Seacrest in, obviously with some damage, I would guess, because it's way too early to be
It's far too early. Yeah, a good 20 minutes or so before the scheduled. So,
yeah, I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, that's
too early here for
somebody we have not talked a lot about this season, really. I mean, we certainly have had his moments, but Paul Basson up here leading the pro class right now. What a great run for him tonight.
Yeah, just a bit late in terms of that championship standings. I mean, it would have been great if he had a couple of runs in the previous seasons, because if I quickly pull up our current championship standings, Paul Basson currently sits 5th with 200 points. And so that's going to be quite a bit of a long shot for him to get up towards our podium spots. So, I mean, great job from him tonight, sitting in that pole position for our GT3 pros. But, man, would have been so nice to see him in that spot a couple of laps before. Great little, is that another new Jim Cunningham overlay in the bottom right-hand side?
That's 8th overall. Doesn't show the class, unfortunately. But, yeah, he's running 8th overall, but first in class. And, yeah, it's another toy. You know how I am with the toys. But that's great looking, I mean, you compare that, if I'm being honest, with all the great information, including a pretty accurate fuel gauge, which is that's high.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've been actually seen
iRacing. Yeah. So, I mean, it's either that or this. Take your choice.
No, I'll definitely take this. Like I've always said to those in the virtual grandstand, for anyone who wants to get into commentating, I think Motormouth Broadcasting might be your place, because the overlays and telemetry that's given to you practically makes it so that you're reading a child's book. It's just line by line, whatever telemetry pops up, you read it. And you should sound flowy enough to the point where people think that you're a full scale commentator, which you'd eventually become with all the great overlays. Yeah, we've got a couple of others that will probably pop up here tonight. I know we've got the best movers up and down the grid, and I see Zach Shepard taking the escape road on the right hand side. I think he's made an error there.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not too sure if he got confused.
Oh no.
Or
no, I think this was a compounding thing here. Let me.
See if there was an incident maybe a bit earlier on.
I think there was an incident.
Let's see. So he's on the backside of Volp right now. Okay, that's a huge incident. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think he thought he could run with it after the incident, and then realized the car's not gonna abide by his rules, and rather just pull it off onto the safety road and take a tow back to pit. So
that little where he took that's the where you avoid turn 5 and you go straight. That's the short track around here for smaller type cars like Mazdas and stuff like that. That's you
can see how unused that part of the track is. It's a completely different color. It's not even gray.
Everybody. I mean, this is it's Road Atlanta, man. This is the track.
Yeah, if you're going to come to Road Atlanta, take the full experience. It's a great track on the outer circuit, so don't cut off any of the important corners. We love seeing the back straight.
Last summer, before when we went to tour, some colleges for our son. We were driving back from where he's going to college in North Carolina. We were driving back, and we came through. We were coming up on Atlanta, and I said, you know what? I wonder where Road Atlanta is compared to where we were at, And my wife looks it up while I'm driving, and she's like, it's about 20 miles up the road. It's about 3 miles off the freeway. And I'm like, we're going. And so we just detoured and went to Road Atlanta and checked it out, and went in the gift shop and bought some stuff, and got to peer through you could see through the fence, looking up from coming on, the turn there, coming under the bridge here at the end of this long straightaway. That was you could see all that. It was great. We just sidetracked for some T-shirts and posters and stuff.
That's great stuff. Unfortunately, in South Africa, my only freedom choice there is Kyalami, and that's about 20 minutes away, 20 minutes of a drive. Other than that, it's a good 40 minutes to 50 minutes drive.
That Kyalami is going to be in iRacing before the end of this 2026.
Oh, it better be. It better be.
It
better be, and then all the leagues I commentate on, I'm going to fight
right?
people so that it okay, well, I mean, then it should be in their plan. Yes, I know the little iRacing arcade. Then it should be in their their vision plan for 2026 to bring it in. It's a great circuit for racing, especially GT3s. It's what it was. Well, obviously it was built for F1 actually back in the 90s. If anyone remembers, our world champion 1979, Jody Scheckter, South African.
Oh, sure.
And obviously Kyalami was used back then. Completely different to what it looks like today, though. And so it's and I think it's currently in regulation changes for Grade A. So that it can be in contention for a possible African circuit on the F1 calendar. So,
I mean, they need to visit.
Trying its best.
They need to visit Africa.
Absolutely.
As
they do, yeah.
So, I mean, because there's a lot of racing fans in Africa. Even all over. I mean, but yeah, that would be a fantastic addition to the F1 calendar.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have to wait and see as John Bostwick getting overtaken here on the inside line by Franz Crosby, and Franz Crosby using that slipstream of the LMP2 to stay nice and up ahead, and there he goes. It's blue on blue action as on the inside line goes Justin Bach as they begin lapping. I believe we've got the replay to them on. We'll get the live timings board on the left-hand side again for you, and there it is up on the left-hand side. And there we see Mr. Paul Basson still leading that pro class by quite a storm. So 4 seconds up the road from Zach Houston and Francis Crosby. Those two have been obviously our two rivals for the GT3 pro class. And guess what? They're now 1/10 within a gap of each other. Unfortunately, the third who usually joins them has taken himself out in 25th. And I don't think Anderson's going to come back out.
No, and I'll tell you what, man, that is brutal because they were all within 3 or 4 points of each other, in the points championship. And for him to go out, literally, he's going to finish dead last today.
Yeah, indeed. And
so it's, it's a really bad situation for him and his points chances. That's got to be devastating for him.
What I'm really liking in terms of what we're seeing here at Bitepoint Racing is that it's completely different to other leagues in terms of where, a champion gets crowned maybe the round or two before the final round. I mean, we have no idea who's winning this across all three of our divisions because the top of the LMP2s is still very much open to play for. The GT3 Pros and the GT3 Proams are also still open to play for. So, these next two rounds are so crucial in terms of this current round that we're at, the penultimate round, and then the final round in 2 weeks at Sebring. It is going to be utmost of importance for our drivers to get those good results in and try and get themselves going around track. John Bostwick is going to be giving the likes of Volp a bit of a run for his money here as he leads that GT3 AM class, and so it'll change again. I know Bostwick has been the lead.
We've got
it's great to see these guys.
We've got second and third right here together in the pro category, right? And then right behind them, you got first and second in the Pro-Am category. I mean, that's fantastic stuff, man.
Yeah, it is great racing action that we get to see here. And Bostwick was at some point, he was at the lead of that GT3 Pro-Am championship standing. And so maybe after today, he gets to boost himself up there once again. But 10 minutes or so is what we've got to wait before we see a couple of those pit stops coming in.
It's coming.
We obviously had a very rainy Suzuka, and that completely delayed the pit stop strategies. I think we saw jump-ins at like 38 minutes, 38. Oh, and there's the spin. We spoke about it too long. Bostwick loses the rear coming up the hill, and there he's out of the fight for the lead currently for the GT3 Pro-Ams, and Tyler Crow is going to take it in 11th. And I think, no, John Bostwick, almost looked like he was going to pull into the pit lane there, but decides to stay out, which is, I think, is the correct decision. But now Tyler Crow is up into first position, and while a while ahead on that on the map, on our track map over here, ahead of John Bostwick. And so John Bostwick still second in the GT3 Prams, but very far off from Tyler Crow in 11th currently. He's now got Voigt in between the two of them, our GT3 Pro drivers. So things are definitely changing up here. And still 40 minutes to play for, so a lot of time for our drivers. There we see our biggest movers chart. It is indeed Zachary Kemp, 6 positions up so far. He currently sits P14, so from 20th up to 14th. Great moves for our driver over there. Tyler Crow, currently 5 positions up. Jordan Cox takes 5 as well. And then Francis Crosby and Austin Schildhauer, our very own Robert Kubica, out on track, the BMW 2002 livery. And great to see that. 4 positions up as well. And so lots of our drivers really starting to feel the comfort spots here.
Here's one that we haven't talked about him since the beginning of the race. And, he had a lot of work to get through that, through the GT3 field now. And he is currently in 6th place in class. So he is actually past Seacrest, who had to have that pit stop because of that little hip check he did there on that incident earlier. And he is only 2 seconds or so, 2.5 seconds behind Owen here, and another few 4 seconds or so behind Mendoza. So he's closing on this field. He's doing a really good job considering he had a pit start tonight.
Yeah, great moves from Harrison Holiday so far. And so he's gotten ahead of all of the GT3s, it looks like, and he's back onto the actual rolling of the LMP2 class, and he's actually managed to overtake one of them as well, of Nicholas Crest after his little bit of bump and run there with Mauri and Mendoza. And so that's allowed Holiday to join in on those top ranks of our LMP2 class. And like we said, he's still got 40 minutes to go here, Jim.
Yeah,
so a lot to play for Holiday to try and pull himself back up. And Holiday's someone who we've really seen a bit of a jump up in terms of performance. Obviously Suzuka, we saw him sitting on that pole position at the start, and now also really showing his flames in the background here, climbing back up the leaderboard and getting up to where he belongs after that start penalty, as we now see him trying to navigate Franz Crosby, which almost started to look a bit foul between the two of them, but fortunately not. And Holiday gets past turn number 1.
I think that there's, he races in the GT3 cars in the Full Throttle Nation Wednesday Night League, and I'm pretty sure that he probably did not have a ton of experience in the LMP2, but he probably sees the opportunity, since they're kind of sister leagues, to, hey, I'm going to get over here and drive a LMP2 and check it out, right? And, as you know, man, you just don't jump in these cars, and especially if the car you're coming from is a GT3, because I don't care what anybody says, you get dependent on that ABS, and you don't even know you're dependent on it until it's gone. And it takes quite a bit of adjusting to get used to these cars. And I think that's why we're starting to see his speed late in the season here, and so, I'm really looking forward to seeing next season, with him in these LMP2 cars. I think it's going to be fun. I think he's going to be fast right off the bat,
Yeah, it's like that good old saying, you don't realize how much you love something until you lose it. And ABS is one of those things for our drivers, especially if you're migrating from the GT3s. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ABS, if you've never done GT3 racing, is quite a bit of a lifesaver, and you don't feel it in a GT3 car. But hey, if you really want to experience what it doesn't feel like, go and hop in a Formula 1 car or an LMP2 car, and you will definitely feel the wrath of no ABS. One wrong bit of braking, especially while turning too sharp, and you will find yourself facing in the same direction and not actually turning with those brakes locked. We've actually got a camera for Holiday I can't believe we haven't pulled this up, but he's been with us the entire season.
No, we
and there we see Harrison Holiday.
He's been up before.
Oh, he's been up before?
Yeah.
Haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah,
then
no,
it's
I've given
been a
him
bit of a
all
while.
kinds of grief. Early in the season, I was giving him some grief about his floral border there, and he races, and he used to have it set up where, you know, he looked all chilled, like he was sitting on a couch or something, you know, and he also drives with like work gloves, you know, and I was calling them vintage racing gloves. I've given him some junk along the way this season, having some fun with him. But yeah, we've got his camera set up. But yeah, I'm just really happy to see him finding his pace. He's doing a great job this season. So super happy for him.
Yeah, great job from Harrison Holiday. I was just about to pinpoint those gloves out. I was like, those look like some pretty old racing gloves. Yeah. Oh, and there's a Rougeau sideways on track down the Esses section, but good viewing from him to not jump up on the track and try and plant himself, and that would have been bad for Paul Basson. And fortunately not this time, as we now see Rougeau getting overtaken by Franz Crosby and Zach Houston. And this is a fight that we're going to have to watch soon, because these two are getting ever so closer between each other. Our two rivals for the GT3 Pro Class will eventually get in attacking distance of each other. And obviously, right now already, Crosby is trying everything that he can to get closer and closer to Houston, as Rougeau with that black flag penalty, unfortunately. That's going to be from multiple incident points and just exceeding the incident point limit. And so drive-through penalty being administered, and so he's going to have to go and sit in the pit lane, go through it, watch his pit crew, wave hello to them, and unfortunately go past.
Again, he's, new, to iRacing in general. You know, can you just imagine, you've been 2 months sim racing and you jump into Road Atlanta in a GT3 car. That's not something that you just hop into. This track's tough, man. It's fun once you get to know it, but when you don't know this place, it's brutal. That blind turn 3, you just pointing that car at a tree. I can see you getting a lot of incident points here if you're not familiar with this place. Turn 5, it's easy to miss that turn, and you catch that curbing, and it bounces you all over the place.
Yeah, no, definitely true. Not the easiest of tracks on the GT3 calendar, and obviously gets pictured by Bitepoint and a couple of others just because of this track's honor. It's just it's a great track for GT3 and LMP2 racing, and it always will be. So it's great to see it here again at Bitepoint Racing.
Most of our GT cars have stopped on lap 21. They're the last, this current lap, they've all pitted and come out. They kind of snuck in and out on us there. So
we are approaching that half an hour mark. So this is looking like an accurate time frame for our drivers to come to the pit. The question is, these two up in front who are fighting with each other, do they both come in? Indeed, they do. So they follow each other into the pit lane now at the 28-minute mark, and doesn't look like our LMP2s are ready just as of yet. None of them have decided to jump in. So Harrison Holiday, oh no, they have already jumped in. Apologies, because Harrison Holiday's up to
now
Harrison Holiday's back up into P1. So now we see the GT3s.
As you can see, they're right there at the end of their, well, not anymore, but since he just filled it up with fuel. But for the ones who haven't pitted yet, you can see they're right there at the end of their tanks. And, so it's that time. They may have another lap or so in them, depending on who it is. But, some of these guys are better at conserving fuel than others.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Some are a bit more veteran and experienced, and that's the chat we always bring up with the iRating. That the more iRating doesn't really necessarily mean you're the faster driver. It just means you have all the more experience under your belt in terms of all things racing, whether it's pit stops or race starts or traffic management or rejoining and not causing an incident. It all comes down to that experience instead of brutal speed, and that also then bumps your safety rating a bit. So. Nicholas Grace now up into P1 as Holiday goes into the pit lane, and Aguilar moves up into second. Yes.
Secret's pitted back on lap 9 or 10 there, and so he's got a little fuel to go. He's going to have to stop again, but I think gives him a few minutes extra out here. if he can get clear of all this traffic and get some free, clean air on the nose there and run a couple of free flowing laps here, he could maybe make up some of that time.
Yeah, that would be. I think he's. Volpe gets himself a black flag penalty as well. So our current GT3 Pro-Am leader gets himself a black flag penalty. So exceeding track limits for another one of our drivers, it looks like, or exceeding incident points. So not too sure if there's contact somewhere, but regardless.
I wonder if that was. Did he just pit though? No, he didn't just pit. He pitted on lap 9.
Or yeah, or could be speeding into the pit lane, but I don't know if he has come in just as of yet. He's down in 18th position
finished,
there. So
he pitted, but it looks like he pitted a lap or so ago. But I mean, that could be a carryover from that.
Yeah, definitely could be.
It wouldn't appear that he is at track limits. But here he comes. So.
Yeah, into the pit lane now he dives to get that penalty served and hopefully continue the stride. There we see our VR driver, John Voigt, in the bottom left-hand side. And yeah, holding on strong still with that cable hanging right down his mouth. He can practically bite it out if he wants to. That's still such a, in my opinion, a bit of an odd place.
That cable bothers you so bad. That's funny.
I mean, imagine trying to have a drink of water and you accidentally knock the cable out and boom, you're blind. You're heading down Road Atlanta and you're trying to control, an Acura GT3 car, and all of a sudden you don't have eyes. That's probably not the best thing in the books that you'd want. You'd have to try and remember the runoff zones to go and park that car so that he doesn't cause incidents.
That can't be that cable, huh? No, that's too thin for that kind of cable. That's more like a charging cable or something. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not a data cable because VR requires a bigger cable than that. That's a little tiny.
Well, I mean, that is Type-C. That could be a Thunderbolt cable. You never know. It's we're evolving in the world of technology. But
I don't think so.
You
see the other cable?
Yeah.
He's got the big cable coming off the back. That's a data cable.
Well, I mean, regardless, he could still knock the front cable out, and then the VR headset runs out of battery, and there you go. You've got even more of a problem because then you effectively knock out your power supply for a couple of laps. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think that has happened to him before. So we don't have to bring it into the race here. Exactly. Yeah, we haven't seen it. So. Past the halfway mark, though, for this race, 32 minutes in, about 28 minutes left to go here for our GT3 cars and our LMP2s, and most of the pit stops will be done and dusted. If they've all planned them right, it means that they only need to do that one stop, and they can make it to on the end on this current tire and fuel strategy that they're all running. But the real question is, it's going to be that battle for the GT3 pros currently between Houston and the likes of Crosby, and Crosby, unfortunately, in the pit stops, has not started Tyler Crow in 11th position, and Tyler Crow in that GT3 Pro-Am class. He's in a different class, but now he's placed himself as an obstacle between the two cars who need to chase down on each other. So that's going to prove to be quite interesting. Voigt and Basson, I believe, are two cars who still need to come to the pit lane. Yeah, I mean, he is like right on the backside, but he's got one car that he's going to have to get ahead of Tyler Crow, and Tyler Crow is also not going to give it to him. It's still definitely a race between them. It's no blue flag conditions here, so he's going to have to try and get past him fair and square here without causing too much of an incident. And you can see how close he's getting on the backside. Yeah, jumps up on the right-hand side. That's not good for Franz Crosby. And fortunately controls it in his Merc. He doesn't go haywire this time around. And looks like he's going to manage it. So great to see from Franz Crosby. And let's hope that he can continue the stride and get back up to Houston.
Yeah, this thing is definitely going to come down to next week for sure. I just really hate that happened to Michael Anderson. What a unfortunate situation for him. And unfortunately, he did it to himself. It wasn't like somebody knocked him out. It was, self-inflicted. But, man, he was just, that points battle was so close. We went all year, and we're down to the last two races of the year, and you kind of chunk it out the window there. That's brutal.
Yeah, brutal is, I think, the correct word to use here. It's a bit of a heartbreaker, I think, for Anderson, because the damage was just too much. He knew that even if he did decide to come out, as we see some LMP2 traffic, so Crest trying to get past, but Even if he did come out after the damage, I don't think he would have been in the run to try and contest with Crosby and Houston. So,
and I tell you what, I don't know that turn 3 at Road Atlanta is the place to make an overtake.
Oh, definitely not.
If you're the LMP2 car, I mean, just wait, and you got plenty of opportunity coming up, and it ain't going to cost you that much time. You know, that was close there. You know, turn 3's so volatile. I mean, if the guy you're trying to pass just gets slightly offline, it's going to toss his car around. It's going to be a hot mess, you know.
Yeah, hot mess indeed. And there we see John Voigt again in 10th position. So he's obviously come into the pit lane, I believe, as he's lost out to Houston, or he's just lost it out on track. No, he's definitely just lost it out on track now. And so if John Voigt has already come into the pit lane, he's really played his strategy well, because obviously now he's gotten into the ranks here with the leading drivers of Basson, Houston, and Voigt. And I don't think Basson's coming to the pit yet. He's still 11 seconds ahead of Houston.
No, he's pitted.
I think he's pitted as well. Okay, so things have changed up then for
timing and scoring up some more.
It is, and I usually just forget that I've got all the information sitting here, and I should maybe have a look at it. So yeah, it looks like Paul Basson came in one lap earlier than Houston did, so 20th. But odd to see him so high up. I mean, 10 seconds of a gap ahead of Houston. That is a long shot ahead that Houston's going to have to fight for. And I think it's just the fact that he was
5 or 6 seconds up before the pit stops. And then if you look at the pit stops, Houston was 4 seconds slower on the total pit stop time. So, you add those two together and, that's 9 or 10 seconds. And then, lap traffic can play such a, and how the LMP2s catch you and all of that kind of stuff can play so much of a factor in that. But, at this point, Bassett is just kind of gone there.
Yeah, gone indeed, and sending it on the track, doing everything that he can here.
Crosby's just pitting now? No.
I don't think that's correct. Crosby's going to lose a massive stride here to the cars in front. So
something's going on here. Did he have an incident?
I don't think he did. So I'm a bit confused here what happened to Crosby, because that pit stop is.
He's very frustrated. Look.
I think something's not gone correct here for him, and he's had to pull into the pit lane just due to the fact that things have not gone his way here, which is unfortunate to see. But I wonder what has not gone his way, because a bit of an odd pit stop. I'm struggling to read this as to what's happened, because it doesn't look like he was in any contact.
No,
unless you found something.
No, I haven't found anything at all. And okay, so he came in on lap 22. He came in on lap 22, then he came back in on 27. Wait a minute.
That's a 5-lap difference. I don't.
No, I mean
that's a bit of an odd one.
He must have forgot to set his fuel or something.
Well, we've got that fuel gauge. We should have maybe had a look at that when he came out of the pit lane. He could have possibly miscalculated fuel or put in the wrong values. And fortunately, if he had something like Direct Race Engineer, he wouldn't have made that error. But too late now, and looks like he's digital. Yes, not Direct. Digital Race Engineer. That's the one. If he had that,
I'm still trying to. So. This is a bit unorthodox. I would normally not do this, but all right, he got tires there, right?
Yeah, he definitely went up on the jacks there, so I wonder if he missed the fuel up. Well, you can see he's talking. I don't know if this is that camera is not that's a live camera, so it's not according to this current situation.
Yeah.
But a bit of a strange one.
Come back in on 27. I don't think we're okay. We're not missing anything on track. So let's see what happened here. As he comes back in here, Oh, that's current. So, yeah. So let's see what happens here. If this, I don't think this is not a drive-through because we saw him stop.
Yeah, it's a bit of a, I don't know, it's just so confusing to see what's happened yet to Crosby because it's not something you normally see, especially with the driver who's got so much on the line in this championship. So, I mean, fuel tank showing for full now, so he's filled up. But
yeah, that's current though. So, I mean, he's sitting there. That wasn't very long, but I'm lost. I really, truly don't have any idea.
Yeah, no, me too.
If we've got anybody out there in commentary that's let's see here. Oh, somebody says we need to replay the GT3 start. Justice for Mike. Oh, you must be talking about Mike Anderson.
Yeah, could be. I think Mike had a bit of an incident at the start.
Well, we know he did, but then I think maybe there was something prior to what we saw. Is what?
All right. Well,
Zach Shepard who made that comment. Who? But when he says justice for Mike, that'd be the only Mike I would think of. Yeah, it's the only Mike we got in the field that I know of. So. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Who is this now pitting? This is Zachary Kemp.
Yeah, Kemp coming in. I think Kemp is also might be in the incorrect class. I don't think that's a LMP2 car, and no, it's not. It's a Ford Mustang.
That's the new version of the LMP2. It's a scaled down version. It looks a lot different.
Scaled down, a little bit different a little bit different aerodynamic package. You know. Yeah. Not that much vacuum on the floor, but big 5.6 liter V8, you know, slightly different, but
it is somewhat
also
different.
A very quick pit stop for Zachary Kemp. So,
right, so he is
bit of a.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess he's a Pro-Am since it says Pro-Am right there.
I would think so, huh? I mean, maybe he's pro, maybe he's trying to deceive us, but
well, I don't think
I don't think he would
puts
be.
himself in there as that. I think that they do that, so we'll go ahead and go with Pro-Am. Which will also correct his name on the timing and scoring too.
There we go. And he's moved into
Jason
the green
decided
spot.
to go have some pasta for dinner there because he just picked up a meatball.
That was no, Jason Holland's meatball is from a while ago. Same with Michael Anderson. So I see it. That's popped up for Anderson as well. So a bit of a strange one, but I mean the facts aren't wrong. They are meatball flags, but they happened quite a while ago.
Reminding us that it happened. So, all right. So let's see where are we at here on track. This is actually some good side-by-side action right here. Oh boy, did I get that? Yeah, oh my gosh, knocked the entire front end off.
Is that Houston?
Car.
Did he make contact with Houston?
I think it was
I don't know if Crosby's
Welsh.
been lapped now. No, that's not Welsh. I think that's Houston. I think it might be Houston he's made contact with. It's the only blue car I know out on track. If we go to Houston,
the Porsche that was right by.
It's the same livery there.
The Porsche that was right by Crosby is Justin Welsh. You can see there's Welsh there.
Okay. I see. So the neon green streaks look very very similar. No, but
see, that didn't even register as an accident right there. This is it here.
Go back and have a watch, and no, that is Houston. Yeah, it is Houston up in front. Yeah, so that's why I was confused because who on earth is that car in front? Then that's the same livery. Who is in that car? That's the number 8. The number 8 car is it's Blake Piedenpool on the outside line. Yeah, so he just gets sideswiped over there, and onto the grass he goes by Franz Crosby. Apologies about that confusion. I think Piedenpool changed his livery again because last week he was using something different. This time around he's now mimicking the likes of Zach Houston. So apologies about that one. Very similar.
All right.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe that
we've
blue.
solved that issue, which now let's go back and take a look at the actual incident here and how it happened. So Piedenpool is all the way out on. He was all the way out on the outside of the track there, Crosby's, well,
Bit of
at first I thought it was going to be Crosby, but then the reality is Crosby was as far to the inside as the track limits would allow there, and Pittenpool turned across him.
Yeah, so a bit of a late lunge there from Pittenpool, and the rule of axis in sim racing is front axis against the rear axis of the car ahead, and unfortunately that in that case it was slightly too far ahead for the likes of Blake Pittenpool, and just getting that tap on the backside of Franz Crosby. There we see Zach Houston currently sitting in second position. 12 seconds though, my word, Jim.
Yeah,
Basson has found some pace here today.
At this point,
and
Zach Houston
still great
is
speed.
Trying to just, let's make sure I get it home. Everybody else is having trouble today, Oh, and speaking of having trouble.
Yeah, that's Kizak. Kizak just going off in the background in his blue LMP2. And I think the new driver just having a bit of a struggle there in his LMP2 car. He's well off the rest of the grid currently, 15 seconds behind Mendoza. But hey, the good part is he's still got the car pointing straight. That's, funny enough, already a difficulty in the LMP2, just keeping that car pointing where you want it to be.
Man. I was driving one earlier today, and I tell you what, man, you don't get out of a GT3 and jump in one of these things because it's brutal.
Oh, definitely not. No, it's a complete change of aerodynamics
and literally.
Yeah, it's one of those cars where you really don't brake to 100%. You brake to like 65, 70%, and you slowly start dropping off to ensure you don't lock those brakes. Because, and man, when you do lock those brakes, my word, they eat at the tires. It is terrible. It completely wrecks your tires on those cars.
Oh yeah.
And so you have to be so careful with what you do, as we now see. Crosby working his way back up, but unfortunately well off currently and 12th position.
But he's only fourth in class, though. I mean, so he is fourth
in class, correct, yes.
So, I mean...
Fourth in class, correct, but...
Considering all this just happened, that's, still going to keep him in the title hunt at least. Considering the pit stop disaster and then the incident with Pittenpool, Oh, there's Zach Shepard. They must be in chat, same chat. He said Crosby had wheel damage and had to use his quick repair. That's why he had to come back in. Oh, my gosh. That BMW in the background just destroyed itself.
That's Schildauer.
Yes.
Oh, my word. And there it is in the left-hand side of the track and facing the concrete barriers. And, oh, yeah, you can see the front is slightly off-centered. He's still got all his parts on. Look. So down the hill he comes, and similar almost, it looks like what Michael Anderson did, but this looks like it's at the end of the back straight. No, it's not. It's over the curbs, and oh my word. Okay, he got some tires at least.
At least there were some tires. But still, that was a straight on, 100-mile-an-hour to zero impact.
Yeah, dead center on the nose as well. So. Yeah.
That's not going to
be... He just bounced back,
dead
basically.
center on the nose is probably better than offset a little bit because maybe at least his wheel is still straight,
Yeah, and the fact that he bounced backwards off the tire barrier, which means that he didn't make further contact against it on the side of his car. Yeah, you say, look at that. Doesn't look like the suspension's been broken left or right. It looks like he's still holding 100% center. So a contact that could have been way worse, but there he does come into the pit lane. So clearly there's some damage that we can't see from our side, Jim, that he can definitely feel. And he's decided to pull in. I would assume you would feel some form of damage after going into a wall at 110 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's feeling. But Paul Basson has had a pretty much uncontested race yet today, 13 seconds ahead of the rest of this grid currently in the pro classes. Mendoza gets himself a black flag.
Who was that? Was that Mendoza?
Yeah, Mendoza gets a black flag. I don't think so, no. So Mendoza just came and served a penalty, I believe. I'm not too sure who went.
Oh, it was Kemp, I think. Yeah, here we go.
Could have been Kemp. He does look slightly slow.
Watch this. You'll see why he's slow.
And so this is running up towards turn number 1, and I think this is rear. Yep, there we go. Rear loss. And around he goes and face plant into the concrete wall, and that's going to be some nice front right suspension damage that he's going to have to deal with for the rest of this race.
I dated her in high school. The girl who drinks too much and face plants, I literally had that as
never cease to chip in some non-sim racing related content into our daily mixes. Yeah,
that's me.
Exactly. As we now see Zach Houston, he's leading a bit of a charge there with some LMP2s. There we see Schildhauer out of the pit lane and fixed up his car. And looks like he's all good to go for the final 10 minutes. My gosh, this hour has gone extremely fast. We're into the final 10 minutes here.
That by that fast. I just don't even know.
I know, it's absolutely wild. 10 minutes left for our drivers to come towards that checkered flag line. And this is where the overtakes are going to matter the most for some of our drivers, especially Schildhauer, who's got some possible gains here on Volps. Up in front, and Kemp also. But he's got some LMP traffic behind as Holiday is looking for an answer. But up in front, Aguilar has been uncontested pretty much. There's Holiday fighting through the mid packs there with some GT3s, and looks like he's gotten past. But Alan Aguilar's into the pit lane. What on earth? Alan Aguilar's into the pit lane with 10 minutes left to go. Did he not have enough to make it towards the end? And now this is going to grant Justin Bach the lead of the race again. Can Justin Bach take it 2 for 2 in the final 3-round series here? I don't know why Aguilar came in. This is a strange one. I don't know if
we've seen these cars have to pit twice in some races this year. You know.
Yep.
I would
especially in the 1.5 hours.
I would not think that at Road Atlanta that would be the case, though. You know.
So Aguilar, and no tire change there, so that looks like just a bit of a splash and dash with fuel. Yeah, and just not enough to make it towards the end.
I wonder if Justin is saving enough fuel to make it.
Well, I hope he is, otherwise then he's going to lose out, and Mauri reclaims this, and we'll have to see, because Justin Bach from the previous rounds, he really did show his fuel-saving techniques and being able to sit up in front. So I'm really hoping that in this 1 hour stint, he's been able to save up that fuel tank. I mean, we can go on to the likes of Justin Bach. You can actually pull up that nice little fuel radar that you've got up and running and see.
It won't be accurate on his car. It's it had to be set for either GT3s or LMP2s, so I set it for GT3s.
I see, makes sense.
So unfortunately, it's not geared for multi-class. It's just you got to pick a class, so it won't be completely accurate. Although it won't be that far off, you know. So that's probably really pretty close. It's probably within a lap or so, but still.
Well, I mean, if he does, if that is somewhat accurate, that's a bit of a danger for Justin Bach up in front. Not a lot left in that tank, and still 8 minutes left to go. And the LMP2 is currently averaging lap times of about 1 minute 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a bit of a tight one for him, because that means roughly 6 to 7 laps left to go for Justin Bach here up in front. And Kizak gets himself another black flag. Volp gets himself a black flag penalty as well, unfortunately down in 17th position. But all eyes are on that driver up in front of Bach, because if he does need to pit, unfortunately, he loses... he has had a bit of a rough day, hasn't he? Maybe the crayons have been slowing him down on the car.
Maybe.
And into the pit lane he now pulls, and
I was gonna make a
serving that black flag
statement, but maybe he shouldn't have eaten the crayons. You know.
Oh my gosh!
I know. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, they provide clear instructions that they do not belong in mouths. So
I don't know if
that's
probably not a joke that you would hear in South Africa. You know.
It's similar. It's more whiteboard markers there, because kids actually do that. They're quite weird.
Yeah, but there's...
So now, a bit of a fight. There's contact. Yep, there's contact. I knew that was coming. That's Scott Murray and Alan Aguilar. Alan Aguilar diving on the inside line. No space left for him from Scott Murray.
Every time I put the camera on Murray, he gets involved in an incident. Earlier in the race,
maybe he's got the lucky charm. You know why? You know why? It's because he didn't come into the virtual grandstand and say hello. Yep, told you. I mean, if we look at our other virtual grandstand runners, Blake Piedenpoel's gotten a side swipe, unfortunately, from Crosby, but he still played his part and said hi. And Zach Shepard, unfortunately, he's out of this race, but that's the reason why he's been in the virtual grandstand, is that he's been out for some time.
Yes.
And it's allowed him to come and have a chat. So it's okay if you've got to surrender the car, but make sure you come to the virtual grandstand and have a chat with us.
Basson just
pitted in the chat there. Oh, okay. So things definitely have changed up. So if Basson maybe the strategies are really weird here because okay, now we can see it, right? You said the fuel calculator set up for the GT3s. Now we can see it accurately on Zach Houston's car
Let's go
to see if he's going to make it towards the end in this final 6-minute dash.
Fair,
is he going to have
a lap later than Basson?
That lap later could make all the difference here.
Yeah. I mean,
he's still he's quite empty
minutes, though. We'll see. We'll see. But again,
we're gonna have Bach pits. He's into the pits now, and Justin Bach also not enough fuel to make it towards the end. So Alan Aguilar moves back up into first position, and oh wow, Holiday's done a great job almost getting into the podiums here from the back of this entire pack. I mean, what a drive!
Stop as well though. Although he stopped on lap 23, Mowry stopped on lap 21. And I'd have to go back to see when Bach stopped originally. Let me do a little quick search here, and I can tell you when Bach pitted. If I could spell Bach, it would even be better.
Jim, it's not one of the most complex things to pronounce.
It's more my typing is the problem. He pitted on. Looks like he pitted on lap 22.
Lap 22. Okay, so
one lap.
I'm not even able to predict anything yet because every single time we get delta on our pit stops, it still changes. The drivers are really pushing these fuel tanks to the limit here, and even one overtime lap that gets initiated here by Alan Aguilar could be the make or break for the GT3. So we'll have to wait and see how this is going to turn out. There's Boswick currently fighting alongside the likes of Alan Aguilar, trying to keep ahead in the GT3, so the GT3 will have the dominance in these downhill left and right swoopers, and
you would
unfortunately
think that
for the LMP2s,
absolutely going to have to pit because he pitted on lap 21.
He probably would. Yes, I don't think Mowry, unless this man has pulled the most devious fuel safe tactics that one could see in the LMP2s. But according to stats, I don't think he's gonna. Don't think there's a chance for him to make it towards the end. Yeah,
Holiday, potentially, if he's been saving.
Putting 2 laps later than everyone else on the grid could potentially, especially if he's been saving, because he's not in the position yet to obviously win this race. So he could potentially just be running the, a simple strategy just to get himself towards the end, lifting and coasting into almost all the heavy braking corners, and potentially saving quite a bit of a fuel wad there. So maybe. We'll see Harrison Holiday not needing to pit, and that could potentially benefit him on Scott Mowry up in front. As there comes Mowry into the pit lane now, and not enough fuel to finish this race. Where does Holiday go? Does Holiday follow? No, he does not. So anyway. Holiday stays out. If this man gets a podium from the back of this entire pack, this will be one of the best drives we've seen in the LMP2 classes. And with only about 2.5 minutes left to go, he's got some high hopes running here. In that red LMP2 car is Mendoza. I think that's fuel. I think he's run out of fuel, and on the inside line, it looks like he's creeping in limp mode.
This? He pitted on lap 29.
I don't understand these strategies. These strategies are really confusing me.
In pit road. Wait a minute.
Roderick Mendoza.
Look, he's going again.
29, yeah. I'm so confused. So what on earth was the reason for Mendoza pulling off to the side of the road there?
Well,
and
before that, let's see. I think this is. Let's see. Hold on. Give it a second here and see.
Could there possibly have been an incident somewhere? And that looks like an overshot. Yep. That looked like an overshot from that camera angle. And then he rejoins, but does he lose the rear? Over the curbs he goes, but no, and then he just decides to go slow after that. So a bit of a confusing one.
Might have had to, maybe he sold himself. Who knows?
The real question is now we've hit the 59-minute marker, and where does Aguilar position himself out on track? There he is, and so he'll be coming through the back straight. It is Justin Bach, so it's going to be a race down to the line between the top two here, And it looks like it is going to be one more lap because we've got about 50 seconds left to go. The drivers join onto the back straight now. It is just turn 10A, 10B, 11, and 12 that they've got left to go here.
Really close,
and then, yeah, I think they're going to come across the line at about the 50-second marker.
The thing is, Aguilar can't slow up and make this the last lap because he'll get past.
No, absolutely not. He can't. He cannot because Box is just going to come flying past.
Really close. But no, we're definitely going another lap.
Yep, we're going to go to lap 48 here because here we come around the final bend with 15 seconds left to go. And we will definitely go over. There's the checkered line. So here we go. Starting the final lap now. It is all up to Alan Aguilar to position himself up in first here and stay within his boundaries with Justin Bock just a bit further behind. And Justin Bock now looking on the inside line and very close for Justin Bock. As now we see Holiday pitting, unfortunately, Jim. Yeah. So he did not have enough left in the tank, and so that means he's going to drop quite a bit behind Mauri.
The funny part is he would have
Isaac as well.
He would have if that was the last lap. If Aguilar would have been 20 seconds slower, he would have had enough.
Exactly. That's why that overtime lap is so
look
crucial.
At this. Traffic has got them together. Oh, my gosh, we're racing down the back straight here at Road Atlanta. The cars are 0.2 of a second apart after an hour of racing.
Well, here comes the 2/10 break because the slipstream is now active. Is Bock going to make a dive? And
Absolutely,
as you can see, Aguilar goes defensive on the inside line. No, he's not. He's going to stay defensive. But can he flip it for the next corner? He can. And Bock is going to be side by side, coming down the downhill, and there's contact. There's contact on the final lap between the two of them. And what could have been an inside dive for Justin Bock with the entire front end of his car. Aguilar gets a black flag. Black flag penalty for Aguilar. And Justin Bock is also going to come across the line with the meatball flag. I don't know if that's going to be a...
No, meatball's okay. You got 3 laps to serve a meatball, I believe. Well, I'm going to say it. Holy shit. I have no idea who just won this race.
Yeah, this is a bit of a confusing one.
No, I have no idea.
Because
in theory, they both have got black flags. If that's the case and it's 40 seconds per car, guess who just won this race?
Well,
Nicholas Seacrest.
Yeah, it's going to be Seacrest. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see now when the race results presents itself.
I've been avoiding. I got so sidetracked that I didn't. Oh, let's see. Has he already finished? No.
That's the first time I've seen that. 2 drivers coming across the line and getting themselves technical black flag penalties.
Well, one is an incident limit black flag. It's got to be.
And the other's the meatball, but I mean, a meatball is still technically an on-track infraction. You know, it's an infraction. So I don't know if he's going to be allowed to come across the checkered flag with it active. That's the question. So there comes Basson across the line. He takes P1 in the pros. And great work from him to get himself up there. And that looks like it is officially it for the running of Bitepoint Racing here at round number 9 at Road Atlanta. Here comes the big question, though. When we view these race results, who sits on the top block for the LMP2 class? We're going to get it shortly for you and have it up and running on the display.
All right,
are we ready for it?
Yeah, let me clear everything off.
We're ready for it.
I think we're ready. Yeah, we are ready. Okay, so let's go. We're going to go right to the LMP2 results first, just because.
Yep, let's have a look at it. And up in front is Justin Bock. So fortunately for him, it does not count as a penalty with that meatball flag. Indeed, you are right. The 3-lap limit was still within boundary, and so it does not apply to him. Justin Bock takes his second win in 2 weeks in a row. And Nicholas Seacrest will take second, with Scott Mauri getting a 3rd position. Alan Aguilar down to 4th after that 40-second time penalty. Harrison Holiday will take 5th. Owen Kizak and Roderick Mendoza rounding off your 6th and 7th position here for the LMP2 class.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
GT3 Pro-Am here.
There we go. GT3 Prams. John Bostwick will take it up in front. That's great points for him against David Volp. And Tyler Crow takes 2nd. Justin Walsh will take 3rd. Yeah, Zachary Kemp 4th. With Jordan Cox in 5th position. Unfortunately, David Volp in 6th position is down quite a bit in terms of those championship points. Lorenzo Arujo down 7th with Blake Pietenpaul, Brandon Herzing, Zach Shepard, and Jason Holland down in 11th. Not finishing this one, but wow, what a great one for
really
the Pro-Ams.
Bit some people there, man. Obviously,
yep, absolutely.
David Volp right there, and obviously our Alan Aguilar, which I honestly, I hope he comes and talks to us afterwards. I would love to talk to him after that. And this is your pro results here.
Yep, pro result. Paul Basson takes himself, I think, his first win here. I don't think we've seen him in the virtual in the commentary box yet. So he takes that win. Great stuff from him. Zach Houston takes second with John Voigt in third. The other rival down in fourth position. Austin Schildauer in fifth. Matt Miles sixth. And Michael Anderson, unfortunately, the lowest result score here down in seventh position. That is not going to be good for his championship points. And that is for it for your point standings here for all three classes here at Bitepoint Racing. And my word, what a great race it has been nonetheless. And I think we're ready for interviews. I'm probably going to hop out, but...
Yeah, what time is it? Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I'll take care of the interviews from here. All right, thank you for joining us tonight. He's got an appointment he's got to get to, so we're going to let him step out and say goodnight, and I'll finish it out here with the interviews.
Have a great night further, and enjoy the interviews.
All right, thanks. All right, let's see. I guess we'll bring up Bostwick, I guess, first. Well, there we go. Hey, John, Jim Cunningham in the booth. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. You had a nice run tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What a crazy race. I'm not sure exactly what you heard in the Discord or anything, but we had some crazy results tonight. But you and Tyler Crow had a nice battle there throughout the night, and somebody else was involved with you guys earlier there for a while, but it kind of fell apart there a little bit.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Francis, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Crosby. That's right. Yeah.
But Tyler had some serious pace on me, and I think I just was able to pit strategy. I never took tires. When I saw Crosby pit, I'm like, yep, I'm going to. I'm going to pit early and try to push at the end. So it worked out.
You were good on fuel? You had no issues with fuel or anything?
Oh, I did. After the first pit stop, I had 2 laps that I needed to fill up, and I just shortcut the pit, took an early pit, and ran with it. Well, consistency after that.
Yeah, well, that's. Congratulations. Yeah, what a good win. To be honest with you, I don't keep up with the points like the other commentators do. I'm more the camera guy, so I have to go back and see where you're at. Where are you in points?
I was in second. If I'm not in
first, this is going to be a good. Yeah. You're going to be. This is going to be a war right here going into the last week here in 2 weeks at Sebring. I'm
ready for it.
I know you are. Are you doing the 12-hour next week?
Sure am.
Oh, so you're going to get plenty of laps in. I wonder if David's going to get his laps in too.
Hopefully, yeah. It's going to be a close battle, so hopefully no crashes and stay consistent. That's my goal.
Yeah. Hopefully you get to settle in on the track and it's not, somebody getting caught in somebody else's mess or something. So, but yeah, man, congratulations. Absolutely. And it's awesome to see that you threw yourself either in the lead or right there either way, it's going to be just so close next week. So, or in 2 weeks, I look forward to that. I love these exciting come down to the last race points battles. You don't see that in too many leagues either. So it's really cool.
It's doing it. Yeah, it's fun to be a part of them. Makes you want to show up and put some time in, put some practice in. So
it does, yeah. It really does. That's what it's all about, really. I mean, you do this all season to come down to get this chance,
Absolutely.
Which is why I felt so bad for Mike tonight, He ended up going out early, and he was right there. All top 3 were within 3 points going into this race, and
Pro Series, they were all right behind me at the start too, and I was like, "This is not ideal. They're all going to battle behind me."
Right. Yeah, well, you had a great qualifying run there too, so that certainly helps when you get up there and kind of can maybe avoid that early race stuff. So, but yeah, man, again, congratulations and.
Thank you.
I'm sure you got somebody you want to shout out to since we got you in here.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mike Anderson. He gets them all year because these pedals, I wouldn't be able to do it without my new setup. So,
what kind of pedals are you running? Now you got me curious.
I got the Acetec or Acetec.
Acetec, yeah.
Invicta,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. I run Acetec wheels, so I'm a
Nice.
big fan of their products. Yeah. So they make great
It's been
stuff. So
great.
is that
Great.
the hydraulic ones or the load cell?
Great question. I want to say it's just load cell on these.
Yeah. Because they have, I know they have, like you said, it's the Invicta though.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the hydraulic ones. Actually, I think that's the fancy ones. Yeah.
Well, coming from a Logitech, so it's a long way.
Boy, you're not kidding, huh?
Holding my own
like
here.
Night and day, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, congratulations again, man, and I can't wait for Sebring in 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
I'll
buddy.
see you there.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, Justin, I didn't actually mean to grab you yet. You hang on. I'm going to pull Paul in, and then we're going to talk. I'm just going to leave you in here, though.
Got it.
Hey, Paul, Jim Cunningham. How you doing, man?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to get to talk to you finally, huh? I mean, what a nice... Is this your first win this season, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You had a great run tonight. I mean, look, I know some of the heavy hitters had a bit of trouble, but that is not in any way reflecting on your finish, because you were ahead of all those guys when their trouble happened. You had a great run, man.
Yeah, I just focused on keeping it consistent. I took tires at the first stop so I could keep the pace up and just full throttle the whole way. I didn't really have a plan outside of that, to be honest.
Is this a favorite track of yours, or?
I really love this track. Yeah, I do a lot of vintage racing, and this track is one of my favorites.
What do you vintage race? Just iRacing vintage racing, or like
no, alt. I do a lot of single player vintage racing.
Right. Okay.
So group 5, things like that.
Okay.
Particularly, I love that.
Are you just out of curiosity? Are you a member of any of the discords that race like the vintage stuff?
I'm a part of the Camel GT, but I haven't really raced a lot there.
There's a company that I do broadcast for on another network that race. They go back and they're like right now they're doing the 81 season of Trans Am and those cars, and they jump around. They do like the early 80s, 90s, well, just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
If you hit me up,
I'd definitely be interested.
If you hit me up, I'll put you on them. They Storm Gang is the name of that's their company that builds all of the vintage stuff, and they do it on our Factor 2 platform.
Gotcha.
Just check. I'll hit me up in a message, and I'll send you a link to them. If that's your thing, you'll love these guys. They'll be right up your alley. So,
that sounds great.
But yeah, man, again, congratulations. I'm super excited to see you here. It's a nice shot in the points. I don't know what that ultimately is going to do for you.
Yeah, I think unless something really crazy happens in the last race, I do like Sebring. It's generally a good track for me, but I don't think I've got the pace there to beat these guys.
I mean, you never know. I mean, you're going to have 3 guys up there. Well, certainly 2 up there battling hard. Unfortunately for Mike tonight, it did not end well for him, and I think it's going to set him back. But you were 5th in the points, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be a little shot in the arm for that. I don't know, maybe you don't have a shot to win this thing, but you certainly have a shot to finish top 3 or something. Which has got to be nice,
I'm pleased to be even like in the fight for the top 3. So
there you go. Yeah. Well, you've had a consistent season, obviously, to be where you are right now. And then I'm just going to say it. You pulled this one out of your ass at the right time. I mean, this is great.
I kind of I've had a couple bad races, to be honest. I got unlucky at Mexico when I was leading there, and then Interlagos was difficult, but I did manage to get second there. So a couple decent results, but no wins so far. So I'm really pleased with this.
Yeah, I'm super excited for you, man. I'm glad to see the hard work paying off. And like I said, you're in contention here now to get yourself a podium for the season, which would be a nice accomplishment. I'm sure if somebody would have told you a couple of weeks ago that you had a shot to finish in top 3, you just said, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, why not, right?
All right. Yeah. Well, you got anybody you want to shout out to while we got you here?
I'd love to shout out my lovely wife, Yuina, and our cat, Dandy.
Is Dandy watching currently, or?
She sometimes comes around and gives me a little sniff, but right now I think she's taking a break from the noise.
Probably a good idea. All right.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
It's again, congratulations. Good to see you get your first win here tonight, and again, looking forward to see what Sebring brings in 2 weeks. Are you racing the 12-hour?
I'm not. No, unfortunately, I won't have time for that, but I will be watching for sure.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Sebring.
Yeah. See you soon.
All right. Well, Justin, it's you and I again.
Oh my God.
That was crazy.
I thought it was crazy too.
We didn't know who won. I mean,
I didn't either. I shut down. I said goodbye to everybody on my stream and shut it down, and then went to look at the results to see, how close we finished, and then it showed me in P1.
Yeah, well,
I was like, "Oh my God!"
Both had black flags. That was the thing that threw me.
Mine was a meatball.
Right, which is the difference.
Yeah,
but I questioned whether or not that if you didn't serve a meatball, by the end of the race, was it going to count the same as a regular black flag?
No.
So
it's with meatballs. You have to serve it within 3, but if you get it,
well, I knew that, but I didn't know what happened. So
you just finished the race.
There was that bit of clarity we were looking for right there for that. But I thought that you had won, because of that, and that's what I said on the stream. But congratulations, obviously, I mean, you're on a roll right now, and
I honestly, I don't, that win should go to Alan. It was so close.
I mean, I get that. I get that you're the kind of guy that would say that, but the reality is the incidents, you didn't cause all of his incidents. You know what I mean? Even if this incident was your fault, which I don't know if it was. I didn't even bother to look at it, to be honest with you, after the race.
It was mine. It was mine. But I didn't wreck him. I spun out myself on it.
Right.
So.
And he had plenty of other incidents that led to him being in that position, So I don't know how he's going to end up,
I'll have to go back. I always go back and watch the broadcast.
I mean, obviously, he was sitting at an incident point where that put him over the top, So he already had whatever it was, 12 or 14, whatever
he ended with 17. So
that was 4 of them. So he was sitting on 13 prior to that. And I would argue that if you're in that spot, maybe he gives you a little more room so that there's no chance that he picks up an incident. Who knows? But absolutely crazy though, man. And I'm super happy for you. Obviously, we've this has been it's been a hell of a 8 days or so since 7 since last week.
Right.
But man, I do feel for him though, because. But man, I tell you what, did y'all even really have? You did have contact, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was all on me. He had plenty of room you're watching it right now.
Okay.
It was me. I was drifting out to the right. I'm just glad that I spun out and not him.
Right. But still, man, that almost doesn't seem like that should have been a 4X. It looks like you barely touched him.
It might have only been a 0. It might have been a 0 to a 2X because I spun
that's
out.
True. That's true. Maybe. Yeah. Let me see.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna do one other thing here, and I'm gonna try to do this. No, that's the wrong car though. No, that's you.
No, that's me. Let's see. Coming down to that last corner, I was like, all right, it's definitely more fun chasing.
Sure. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it is.
Trying to run from somebody is way
more fun. Yeah.
Because I had choices there. Coming down that last straight, I was like, all right, if he goes inside, I'm gonna have to go outside. If he stays to the outside and tries to just beat me through, I'm gonna have to just outbrake him to the inside.
So,
and that's what it went down to.
Part of the beauty of what happened here is incidents and all that aside, okay? You put yourself in a spot to win this race by that last pit stop, you were 2.5 seconds total pit time faster than him, and you were a second and a half actual stopped in your box faster. So
yeah, I only had to put in an extra half liter. My fuel was telling me 10.5 liters. I went to 11, and I ended with an extra half liter.
Okay,
I ended with a half liter, so I was right on it.
Yeah. But I mean, ultimately, that decision and the time, the speed that you got into and off of pit road, ultimately is what puts you in a spot to challenge for the lead.
Yeah,
Again, I hate that it came down to that incident situation because, like you said, you spun yourself out, there, and that's fine. He would have won the race, and you would have limped across in second, more than likely.
Yeah.
Well, but I can only imagine how frustrating. Have you talked to him?
He actually, he sent me a message on Bitepoint, and he basically said, he's oh my God, that made me feel even worse. He basically said,
"You're too nice of a guy, man."
Basically said, I can't find it right now, but basically said, "Great race. I ended with I had a black flag at the end," and I was just like, "Oh my God, I did not want to win that way." But,
right. I mean, again, I get that, and the kind of person you are, I can respect that. That you feel that way, but like I said, if the roles would have been reversed and you would have gotten the black flag, ultimately you would have said, "You know what? I had all those previous incidents, and that's why I got the black flag."
Yeah.
And I'm sure, maybe after if he is pissed, then maybe after he cools down, he'll see it that way. And if maybe he's not mad at all, I don't think in that same situation that you would have been mad. So I don't know Alan personally, so I don't know how he's going to react to that. But either way, what a fantastic finish coming down. I mean, and then y'all both, you have that incident, and we don't know who won. I mean, that's every, I mean,
I really can't wait to watch the broadcast back.
Oh, I mean, both of us, we were both like, I have no idea who just won, because I thought I was right on the meatball rule, but you don't want to sound like an idiot and go, oh, Justin won, and then, it counts both of it as a black, and but
right.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was super exciting. That's the thing in a nutshell, and now we've got, our pro battle is coming down to next week. It's going to be super close. The Pro-Am battle now just got much tighter, and so that's going to be really exciting next week. I mean, 2 weeks. So, it's going to be great. Are you doing the 12-hour?
No, I'm probably gonna spot for basic ollie,
okay.
like I normally do. I just need to figure out what time he's starting. So I might be up early in the morning if he's starting at 8 a.m. his time. It'll be
yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
2, 3 a.m.
I do a lot of work with those English guys. I know
I
know that time for sure. Yeah. So, do you do the whole 12 hours? Are you gonna? Or do you?
Yeah.
You do. So you'll spot the whole for the whole. You spot for the whole team, or do you just spot for Ollie when he's driving?
No, I spot for the whole team.
Okay.
So anybody, I spot for the team. So anybody who's in the car, I'm on voice chat with them.
Okay.
So.
And do you do all the fuel stuff for them as well? And I mean, I know Ollie he uses that software to plan out his thing.
I'll give him options. I'll tell him what I'm seeing, what he's using, and I'll do some minor calculations and say, this is what I'm coming up with. Do you want more? Right. Or are you good with this amount? Because depending on where we're at and if what it looks like, if it looks like the last pit stop is going to be close, I've got to cut it as tight as possible while still giving him enough fuel to fight.
Right.
Well, if it doesn't look like it's going to be close or we're not going to be fighting for anything, then we just go with whatever iRacing has got on it. But
right.
But yeah, there's a lot. I do a lot of just kind of spotting ahead, telling them what other drivers are doing.
For anybody who may not know that's watching this, because we still have quite a few viewers out there watching. Basic Ollie is, if you don't know, is a YouTube content creator, and funny guy.
He's a great guy.
He
He's
does
really
great content. He does a lot of iRacing and Le Mans Ultimate stuff. If that's a lot of sports car stuff. Big IMSA guy. He loves sports car racing and stuff. So if you don't know who he is, check him out. And Justin, apparently, I didn't know this till this week, but spots for Ollie's team when they do endurance races. So if you don't know, check it out, and you can.
He's the one that got me into into sim racing.
Really?
Just from watching.
Yeah.
Just from watching him. His stream came up on a random day, and I was like, "What's this?" Started watching, started asking questions.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's having computer problems.
Your wife hates him then because
she calls him my man crush.
Yeah, well, you got that big, giant, expensive rig sitting there that's all blame on Basic Ollie.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that. But man, look, congratulations again. What a hell of a week it's been.
Yeah, no kidding.
I can't wait to see what the next couple of weeks bring. The funny thing is you're throwing yourself up the point standings here. I don't know that it's probably too little too late, but you keep racking up wins and it might not be. I don't know.
I don't think I can catch those guys, but
either way,
this last half has been tracks that I love and I know. And
there's got to be some familiarity with the car, just like with Harrison Holiday. He's really found his pace late in the season, and I think it's because of familiarity with the car. These things are not easy to jump in if you've been driving a GT3 car. It's a hard transition, man.
Yeah.
You'd be better off coming from something, obviously something that doesn't have ABS, because to make that transition is not easy, and especially the way you got to drive these cars, because you got to get all your braking done when your downforce is there, because if you got your foot on the brake when the downforce disappears, these things are, they'll just lock them up instantly.
They're very susceptible to the wind too. You have to know which way the wind is going. Like coming into turn 7 just before the straight. Yeah, if the wind was right at our backs. Everywhere else it wasn't an issue, but turn 7, if you got on the brakes too hard, the wind would push you around. The wind was strong tonight. But yeah, you really have to know where the wind is coming at with these cars.
Well, and that's already a place that the car is susceptible to spinning anyway, because you're starting to head you're coming out of that turn, and it's a little your car gets a little light right there anyway, because you're kind of getting back up that hill, and it's just like a weird spot. I've spun many times where you run a lot of running off track. That's a big place to run off track at turn 7. So and it's such an important corner too, though, because it's getting that run down that straightaway. So
Well, luckily, Sim Coach, shameless plug, they do a lot of training, and they have some really good setups. So if you're out there looking for setups, go check out simcoach.co.uk.
And it looks like you have a Sim Coach shirt on too.
I do.
That's amazing. So now, congratulations, buddy. And anybody you want to shout out besides Sim Coach, and you can even shout them out again.
No, my parents, they always watch. My wife, you mentioned her earlier, for allowing me to do this really geeky stuff. So, but just
better than
everybody.
Better than being
guys,
drunk
obviously.
and being out in the bars all the time with your buddies.
Yeah,
so.
that might be cheaper.
Well, it might be cheaper, but it's not like having you at home. At least she's got you at home for this.
Right. So
all right, buddy. Well, congratulations again. I'm obviously going to tune in to, I always watch Ollie's
all right. Well,
stuff,
hey, don't be a stranger. Mention it and chat us up.
I will.
We'll be chatting.
I will.
All right.
Yep. Congratulations, and we'll see you here in 2 weeks, but I'll see you next week in Daytona for the Full Throttle Nation race.
All right. See you next Wednesday.
Yep. See you.
Bye.
All right. Well, of course, my famous long interviews that I always do. But we'll go ahead and say goodnight. Thanks for tuning in tonight here. And we are so excited. This was such a crazy finish to this race. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. It's It was just kind of nuts. So, but 2 weeks we'll be back here for the season finale. Literally every single championship still on the line. We're in for a banger in 2 weeks here, and enjoy your week off. Hope all of you get to race Sebring, and thanks again for tuning in to Motormouth Broadcasting, where champions are built one corner at a time.